the design and implementation of curriculum for preschool children.
Hello, I'm Jack Xiao. Welcome to the pre-study course for the design and implementation of curriculum for preschool children. This video will be divided into 3 sections. Firstly, we will talk about curriculum. And the second section will be the curriculum models. And the next section is about 11 characteristics of age-appropriate pedagogies that represent a set of desirable qualities that educators can consider when working with young children.
What is a curriculum? The word curriculum can be so confusing to people. Is it a national standard or is it a particular approach? Also, what's behind a curriculum? Theory, research, or ideology? According to Scott, a curriculum may refer to a system as in a national curriculum, an institution as in a school curriculum, or even to an individual school as in the school geography curriculum. In fact, during more than 150 years of early years education, there have been a number of more or less successful approaches in preschool. However, the majority of approaches to early childhood education, early childhood curriculum, agree on 2 things. Children learn by being active, and children should be engaged in play. Furthermore, a curriculum doesn't give teachers about the actual stuff to do with children every day. The curriculum gives guidance about general concepts, and it gives information only in general terms about how the learning will be specifically organized. There are 4 crucial elements that apply to curriculum in any teaching and learning setting from early childhood through to tertiary education. Aims or objectives. What do we want this curriculum to achieve? What would we expect to be the outcomes as a result of participating in the implementation of this curriculum? Content or subject matter. What will we exclude or include or exclude from our curriculum? Methods or procedures. What teaching methods or approaches will we use to achieve our goals or outcomes? Assessment or evaluation. How will we know when we achieve our goals and outcomes?
So now, here's a question for reflection. Can you examine the content of the curriculum documents in your setting? And can you find the content to fit under the 4 headings given by Scott? Aims or objectives, content or subject matter, procedures or methods, and assessment or evaluations. You can pause the video now and jot down your ideas in 10 minutes. According to Bernstein, and there are essentially 2 models of curriculum. All curricula fall into one or the other category, and the curriculum is oriented either performance or competence. The performance models of curriculum is the most dominant around the world. The performance model has its origin in the behavioral objective movement. According to Scott, it is a model that clearly emphasizes marked subject boundaries, traditional forms of knowledge, and explicit realization, and the recognition rules for pedagogic practice and designation and establishment of strong boundaries between different types of students. Performance model has explicit criteria that will clear up teachers' confusion, and that includes the content should be covered for the year. For example, large and small muscle development, and control for learning to perform. Or self-awareness and self-reliance should be developed in order to learn to participate in social relationship. In comparison with performance model, competence models suggest that learners have some control over the selection and pacing and sequencing of the curriculum. Competence models have been more common in early childhood education, in which children's activity and engagement in play have been valued.
Now, you can pause the video and reflect on the model of curriculum in your setting. Examine the curriculum in your educational setting and decide if it is oriented towards a competence model or a performance model. Is the sequence of content detailed and prescriptive, or is it general? Bring your notes for discussion when you attend the face-to-face session. The last part of this video, we are going to explore the description and the behaviors of each characteristic based on the concept of age-appropriate pedagogies. In Australian curriculum, early childhood educators are encouraged to create learning opportunities that foster the characteristics that are vitally important for children's development. Active. The active characteristic requires physical and embodied engagement across all areas of learning. Whether this is indoors or outdoors, activity is essential in order to activate children's full potential. Their focus, concentration, motivation, and self-regulations are enhanced through the moving, doing, and interacting with a range of learning environments. Agentic. The agentic characteristic is about ensuring that children have voice in their learning. Children should be allowed to make decisions about their own learning and work in partnership with the teacher to plan for, co-construct, and reflect on their learning. Collaborative. The collaborative characteristic is about being social and co-constructed. Children and educators work together to identify ways of learning and understanding through sustained shared thinking and action. In practice, teacher can model ways to share ideas and listen to others that would demonstrate the effective strategies to work with peers. Creative. The creative characteristic is about inviting children to consider what if. They encourage investigation, inquiry, and artistry to explore new possibilities and ways of thinking. Thus, children should access open-ended materials, resources, and spaces to explore, discover, and inquire. Explicit. The explicit characteristic is about making conscious for both learner and educator the relationships between the learning purpose and the processes employed, the skills and understanding this process support. As a teacher, you may clearly articulate the correct intent that underpins each learning experience for the children, provide feedback to children to connect them with the strengths of their current learning, and then co-construct future learning goals. Language rich and dialogic. The language rich and dialogic characteristic is about ensuring that learning occurs in environments where rich language is modeled, employed by both children and educators. Meaningful dialogues between children as well as between children and educators are created to support thinking, learning, engagement, and imagination. For example, children should learn to express their thinking, learning views, and ideas, and work alongside their teacher to listen actively and speak thoughtfully. Learner-focused. The learner-focused characteristic is about recognizing that all children learn in different ways and that learning is a highly individual process. They also acknowledge differences in different physical, intellectual, and cultural, social, and personal experiences and perspectives. Teachers may ask questions to discover links between children's emerging interests, ideas, views, and their wider family, community, and cultural experiences. Narrative. The narrative characteristic is about acknowledging the important role that personal, written, oral, digital stories play in all our lives. They support both the production and the comprehension of narratives through active process, especially play. For example, children should explore, comprehend, and create multi-modal texts and share their experiences and developing personal oral narratives. Playful. The playful characteristic is about encouraging children to make connections through imagination and creativity to explore alternative worlds and ways of thinking. These worlds, not bounded by reality, offer the freedom children need to innovate and enact new possibilities. So, teachers can provide extended periods of time, public spaces, and imaginative resources for children to engage in playful learning. Responsive. The responsive characteristic is about incorporating a willingness to be flexible and to ensure that learning is always child, context, content, and disciplined appropriate. To achieve this, educators will balance opportunities for structure and spontaneity, open-ended and specific tasks, and child-led and educator-led learning. Teachers may openly discuss classroom decision making with children. Then children understand that they are part of the classroom decision making process. Scaffolded. The scaffolded characteristic is about including such as actions as modeling, encouraging, questioning, adding challenges, and giving feedback to provide the support needed to extend children's existing capability. Effective scaffolding by both educators and other children provides active structures to support new learning. It is when progressively withdrawn as learners gain increasing mastery. Teachers should always ensure that children know how to seek help and from whom. Also, children participate in learning experiences of growing complexity and which receiving differentiated support from their teacher.
Now you have come to the end of the pre-study course for the design and the implementation of the curriculum for preschool children. I look forward to meeting you in the classroom soon.